appearance of a thoroughbred when I say I have seen the earth, how it is held together with its fences and caution tape, always under construction, going out of business, the percentage off, increasing with each passing week, my diminishing returns as inevitable as my Americanness, as my willingness to incur more debt. I return a triathlete of sea, land, and sky. I dye my hair so we can grow old again. I age and learn to love the bit, for at night it gives me something to grind against.
Right now I feel the fact of the never no return. This floating anxiety swelling the brainstem. Backed up body fluid requiring drainage. Call it unpacking, a reckoning, a come to Jesus, come to Jesus, come to Jesus. A refrain of crushing burning pain. Built stick by blue stick. Bought via basic chilanga. Around the kiosk and bottom on the banks of orange. Radiant under golden moon. Negro de Vierda on green municipal beach.
One, African bass translating our beauty. Two, hammering nails into the off beat. Three, walking our eyes on water. Four, hands violining us into blue-black waves. Five, ding, 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 click, dong, 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 click, D-boom, click, D-boom, click, D-boom, click. Six, bass transcending of memory. Seven, your sound, sweet perfume on my thighs.
Beings being, filled with angst, sick till death, crushed under the weight of freedom, hands gripped in a fraternal manner, hearts beating, beaming out from our chests into the universe. As somewhere in America, Zen garden blooms, and my generation exhales the stale air of this establishment. 2. The question is one of belonging, as I've absorbed the platitudinous allusions to Mother Africa, and these positive ontological bases of identity are necessitated, not sufficient, as my earthly father is heavenly, from the eastern shore of Pluto, around the corner from Hestia, Hephaestus, Heracles, Ares, Apollo, and Orpheus.
In loving memory, my struggle for citizenship, 1983 to 2013. I am not moved. I feel neither the burden nor gift of privilege. I know this country well. I am no newcomer. I was raised here, educated here. I have no illusions about what this is. It has taken me 24 years to gain citizenship, and so I do not feel any sense of pride in my new country. Portions of my life in it rush through my mind. Upper Arlington, Ohio, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Ludington, Michigan. Finally, they call each of us up to receive our citizenship certificates. It feels much like receiving perfect attendance awards in elementary school. Some people have adorned themselves, some are very old, some are in traditional African and Asian wear. One man still has the maker's tag on the sleeve of his blazer. I feel sadness at their effort. Most of them are black and old.
And yet, my greatest folly is that I continue to be an American, just another dude out on the ranch, covered in grime, out of doors, sporting soiled dungarees and dirty boots, smelling like hot soil and cold piss. Can feel a draft through the hole in my crotch, like a pineal massage to throw open the gates. A model citizen, N-star 2GR, an excellent Ford for all mankind. We probably met through mutual friends in Mexico.
I want to keep being a levity. I want this levity. I want. Everything is about I feel like I felt have narrated myself. I feel an affinity with being on this earth, this feeling to stay and not be entirely consumed. I don't. I have learned these moments require not just armor, but impetuous to ask. I want expectation. He didn't need to casually in order to protect his sense of self. I am not, I am not, I am not, I am.
For time is infinitely limited, plus we need to feel useful in our faded baggy blue jeans situated at extremities concerning the waist, clicking on listicles of duplicitous white women in front of company like we ain't had no home training. Rather spent too much time indoors, half-baking gluten-free epistemologies. And now here come the Last Supper ladies for luncheon. Sundress violence in pumps and pearls, wielding white pickets, towering gray and gelatinous, wiggly with excitement anticipation, expecting cold buffet tables smeared with chitlin aspic, plus Melba toast to coat. An afternoon of effortless elegance, paired off with panache, seated on designer sofa in slope-roof attic flat, a deafening chatter echoing.
Dolores interlude. I'm tired of the street, but no, I'm not tired of it. The street is all of life. There's a tavern opposite, which I can see if I look up over my right shoulder, and there are piled up grates, which I can see by looking over my left shoulder. And in the middle, which I can only see if I turn around completely, there's the steady sound of the shoemaker's hammer at the entrance to the offices of the Africa Company. I don't know what's on the upper floors. On the third floor, there's a rooming house, which is said to be immoral, but so is it with everything. Life. Tired of the street? Only thinking makes me tired. When I look at the street or feel it, then I don't think. I do my work with great inner repose, ensconced in my corner, but keepingly nobody. I have no soul. Nobody here does. It's just all work in this large office.
I spent the day on amphetamines, pupils constricted to pinpricks of black, eyes darting from floor to ceiling along with the rest of my body. Eyes are a delicacy in some parts. Mine tastes of brown and black hole. Everything brown is actually orange. Ain't I something else? Today I made 2 perfect pancakes, but I fucked up the third and the fourth because I was intimidated by my previous success. Today I felt a vibrant aimlessness staring for hours at various screens cracked with age, looking at medieval paintings of the 7 circles of hell, where death appeared as nature's planned obsolescence, and I imagined emphatically worded proclamations.
I want to keep being. I have learned. A levity I want, this levity I want, but impetuous to ask. I feel like I felt. He didn't need to casually have narrated myself. I feel an affinity with being on this earth. I am not this feeling to stay. I am not and not be entirely consumed. I am not, I am.
Mescal March made in deep April, while out looking for new novel euphoria to contrast constant hectic cacophony, that conflagration for private consumption, knocking against inside a skull, pulsing glowing chatter that keeps the spectacle going. An empty existence, crushed by contact with the real, counterfeit countenance displayed to the elements, heart-cold atmosphere cutting cross-static frame, solely seeking magnetic unity with falling rock aiming toward entropy.
The Anti-Completionist Manifesto. I go to prepare a place for you. Leave the room of escape and leisure to find stoop, scarf, cold, spool, concrete under 4 too small feet. It smells of dying lily. I see a field of white flowers and my reflection therein. I'd only just thought, never claimed, but that maybe Babylon won't be so bad. Before nightmare of cooperation provoked pre-Hispanic nostalgia, acting out with the black-white fantasy Tomorrowland. Between? Gnawing practical pickles out the jar through the glass during 2 p.m. Azotea matinee. We are all frail and already broken, plump or ripe for picking. Cinches debating the terms of eternity. Drunk, I burn off half a mustache, lightning a lipped roach.
Laughter in American English, something coffee-colored floating through. Some old fashions die hard after you do. Body heat meat, in plastic wrap 4-packs, or doubly, or triply, or microwavable single serving. Licking old burgers handed down unwashed with white picket. An inheritance short on cash while rather rich in niggas. Snacking small bites of flesh on spirit. Chewed slowly and carefully with relish. As I roll on the tongue, eyes open.
No means negotiate until you trick them into saying yes to something more convoluted than either of you understand. No is meaningless if your value is not acknowledged, if your power doesn't exist. Fuck power and value. Let me be. How do the flowers argue? What do they argue about? Themselves, their world, of course. Their deaths, their immortalization. What is the answer to fixing the panopticon that is the hospital? What do the flowers argue, sing, talk about amongst themselves when everybody is listening, as we always are? Sacrifice. Whatever is, it must be generative, especially for the weeds, the ivies, the seemingly destructible. The ebb and flow that results in the high and low tide that maintains their collective existence. Let me bask in the shade of the arguing bulbs and trees. Learn how generative new generations, new rings, new flowers can be.
Hike home, desire run dry, nothing left on my phone. Eye worms drip from silver pole halo, past crying Santo during prayer for a sign. Clear, unmistakable, red-lit sheepskin sunrise over the mountains, light emitter closest to us, heat lamp blowing dusty solar winds, winking conspiratorially, excited to see you again, greeting of a kiss on both cheeks plus forehead. Another moment in creation of eternity, tongue tacky, cut off and stuck to the roof, mouthing quotes of a dream to a crowd of none.
gentrification. Signals arrival of Cameron and coronated Waxer-Cocker. Studying, watching, or cultural literacy in 1 and 2 half languages. Under watchful eye of God or nature. Sporting black turtleneck and wicker basket photograph. Painting of the ultimate question, the problem of being, whatever that may be. I don't believe in what I see, cause old white man I never met. Said so in Something on Something. Rhyme of the ancient dirty, old greasy bum on the street, asleep at the gate. High on the drive towards death, and liquor wrapped in plastic that goes down like nails on a whiteboard. Embedded in a bat from baseball, cricket, crashing through eggs on a dresser while 3 shades of gray make out Ouroboros chase over still pause archival footage that I know won't hold the answers I seek. Yet here I hang over the edge, bowing down to God, Earth God, copyrighted. And the runty uneaten off-white grapes left to wither be tossed as an act of blasé decadence. How gauche it feels to be laid at the center of this experience, mediated by a www.culture industry riddled with standing angst and seated typists, with flabby butts and Twitter fingers hiding out in a shitbox platonic cave, throwing shadows across Littitz, Pennsylvania, manufacturing falsifiable ephemeral reality experiments in real time. Under big tent 3-ring circus du soleil, natural light, sight, and sound, shining from beneath not your feet. When you hold your head just right and look, you can see it clearly if you blink at a normal speed. Gordivia, the name borrowed from Jensen's book Analyzed by Freud, designates the image of the loved being insofar so that being agrees to enter to some degree into the amorous subject's delirium in order to help him escape from it. 3. How can the being who has captured me, taken me in the net, release me, part the meshes? By delicacy. When Martin Freud, as a child, had been humiliated during a skating party, his father hears him out, speaks to him, and releases him as if he were freeing an animal caught in a poacher's net. Very tenderly, he parted the meshes which held the little creature, showing no haste in resisting without impatience the jerks the animal made to free itself until he had disentangled them all and the creature could run away, forgetting all about the whole episode. Martin Freud, Sigmund Freud, man and father. Residual, excavation, excrement, shit, decomposed matter. So I go out and play in the shit of worms, spiders, and flies. Where are the figs? What's disturbing about watching someone cry? Does it bother you that you may not have the fix? The tears will continue to flow. Are you okay with not catching any at all? I want to watch and catch all of mine own. Holding my face doesn't do that. Slip underneath my wrist, between my fingers within my webbing. Give them 2 days, they'll be back, justifiably. The last leaf. Magic consultations, secret rites, and votive actions are not absent from the amorous subject's life, whatever culture he belongs to. The heart. 2. Werther complains of Prince von X. He esteems my mind and my talents more than this heart of mine, which yet is my one pride. Whatever I know, anyone may know, I alone have my heart. End quote. You wait for me where I do not want to go. You love me where I do not exist. Or again, the world and I invested in the same thing. And to my misfortune, this divided thing is myself. I am not interested, Werther says, in my mind. You are not interested in my heart. W.S. Merwin. And we stopped touching, wanting to reduce transmission, so your comforter served as comfort, and tears and heavy sighs meet a wave as the motionless main road hums a new tune. With the minimal reverberations usually deemed silent due to the typical roar, and your lover meets you below your window pane, offering sweet nothings and sweet muffins, and you are settled with it until you remember just before, and you glide into the next day, meeting both fire and water, hoping for a reduction, and you are forced to pause, looking at the ends of the earth, and you float into the comforter, or nothing, lying down once more until another tear brings you nothings from the silence on the edge of your lips. The other's body was divided. On one side, this body proper, skin, eyes, tender, warm, and on the other side, the voice, abrupt, reserved, subject to fits of remoteness, a voice which did not give what the body gave. Or further, on one side, the soft, warm, downy, adorable body, and on the other, the ringing, well-formed, worldly voice. Always the voice. When does the first leaf turn? How long for their siblings to follow? What must be the conditions for that truth? The gas, oxygen, CO2 combination, humidity and precipitation index, the strength and direction of the sun, or will you remain green until you hit the deck, fire escape, pavement? Why are you not turning? What is the truth of your composition that does not have you perform for us, for me? Is my expectation unreasonable, delusional? There's always more to learn, understand. Having it all will always elude me. Please do, so I can continue having somewhere to go. After the last leaf, there is still somewhere to go further beyond. Novel, drama. The amorous subject cannot write his love story himself. Only a very archaic form can accommodate the event which he declaims without being able to recount. In the letters he sends to his friend, further recounts both the events of his life and the effects of his passion, but it is literature which governs this mixture. For if I keep a journal, we may doubt that this journal relates, strictly speaking, to events. The events of a Morris life are so trivial that they gain access to writing only by an immense effort. One grows discouraged writing what, by being written, expresses its own platitude. Beginning quote, I ran into X, who was with Y, end quote. Next quote, today X didn't call me, end quote. Beginning quote, X was in a bad mood, end quote, etc. Who would see a story in that? The infinitesimal event exists only in its huge reverberation. Journal of my reverberations, of my wounds, my joys, my interpretations, my rationalizations, my impulses. Who would understand anything in that? Only the other could write my love story, my novel.
Unlock this code and tell me who I be. I'll give you a clue. Conestoga wagon of equal. Everything that rhymes is true. Sea wagon. Wooden wheels of recreation, turning what is to something new. Death drive renaissance, bound to super saturated piston lumber waves. Sky blue eye open and patrolling. Pastoral suburban plains with food untamed pet bugs, Pokemons, where the earth squares off and the sheep rolls away. Fertilizer across a field of maize and rye. Hanging from your bone, a British English baby on holiday in the old New World. Just the world to English, Redskins, and other corporate images, their colonizers, conquestors, pilgrims, various people who are lost in their kidnapped and just stay because there's a little ocean between where you're supposed to be and where you've ended up.
It's just kind of everything's spiking it. Actually, that one key there is spiking it.
What about now?
Spiking.
Even speech, every even speech.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just not too bad.
What about microphones? Yeah, it's also spiking.
It's close, but not.
Voices.
Yeah, everything is like you got way louder or something.
I think it's the chords.
Still audible? It's not bad. What about now? A lesson we should take from this is to not trust strangers and learn how to read and or draw maps. You're situated in the world, you know. Oh, now it looks fine. But maybe it's just because it's not everything. You're situated in the world, you know. It is much larger than you expected back when you were dying of dysentery, malaria, water rat, airborne diseases, inflammations, etc. et al. On or in, depending when you're from, the Oregon Trail, until receiving your first very own Neopet. It's a big responsibility, and yours alone to love, take care of, abuse by way of neglect. Hot dust from Roddy's cooled by fresh plums. Picked from paint bucket parked by Bloody Blue. Gray tile, wood panel, big mirror floored. Clay-colored village 1,000 miles from Addis. Breathtaking beauty cracked with sadness. These valleys are craters packed with absence. A haunting cold breath is gasping down neck. Frightening animistic connection, negating enlightened logic, them cracks spewing Renee's reasons, fetid mists of waste. Delicate drops marking with musk, me in my very own religious red headdress, hardened plastic, stuck in iron bars of green chicken garden, chasing the crickets who sing in my dreams. Green pants, red vests, white gloves, blue hats, a minced oath, packaged in pouches, pointy straw punctured, formerly flat, now crunched with crinkles, cross purple muscle throbbing and squirting, covered an end of trepan drip, cord cranium swung in a circle, third-grade tornado trapped in a bottle, blue water spitting idle green-gray chunks, a complete corpus clenching, imitation of climax, body in motion, barking voz alta, under electric blue, raspberry flashes strobing spotted orange. Stop to make a moment. An offering to the sun and the moon, to the ground and gravity, universal web net holding us down. Caressing faces, crushing lungs, connecting everyone with persistent touch. Nappy nodes, weaving fabric of reality. Clear quilt covering stench, settling in New Amsterdam. Death dance returning over horizon, full body flex, gasping jackknife. Pulling slow to quick with taffy-like motion as I gobble raw frog with booty spoon, while galloping in green, headed downtown. Tree called 1133 semicircle, gathered yet feeling stomach tug plus fluid eye pool, anxiety type bubbling that only happens in PW public. Something like a sitting target, out to be got, and somehow obscenely open to robber thieves, aka passes to excavate a thought from earlier. Extra mission pushing image out eyes. Sound implies a fluid. Great big leave you gasping, terrified, humbled at total mercy laying at feet, prostrate for hours, total devotion, still in grit ash under fire, turn self into prey, vulner, disable in pursuit of. 11-1 was on the scale tip. Big v small, now v everlasting, particular v universal. Got lost for a minute in cartoonish hold-up slapstick. Three guys nodding down bench, jack me for new bike. Somehow I get helmet on. One in beige Carhartt had a knife and drowsy eyes. They all seem sad and euphoric, swaying on